Alright everyone, hello and welcome back. It's Terry, and today I'm excited and looking forward to doing this 6-month update of my haul from my visit to Hausermann, which was before Christmas. You all were with me, so I want to share with you how they've been doing in that time. So what I've done is written down the list. First one is Angraecum cespis, and I will just go to it. This was bought in a triple spike. All of the spikes blasted. If you all remember that video, eventually after waiting months for the spike inflorescence to push, which they did, and then they ended up blasting. But anywho, this sat in my greenhouse under an LED light, pretty much in the middle of the greenhouse, underneath my vandas, and the roots were misted every day. It was watered once a week, but the roots were misted like a vanda every day. It fell out of the pot a couple times and needed to be repotted, which it was. It's in basically just various amounts of rock, lava rock, and then there's this landscape rock that I use since the place that I used to get the lava rock doesn't have that anymore. But as I said, it has put out a couple of leaves. This is the latest leaf. So for me, after the repot, especially because this is a bloom size and they have a reputation for sulking after a repot, so I would say that's a success. Even though it is not putting up a bloom spike, it is still a success. Okay, my Arangus modesta, which was a little baby, it just died. I just threw it away yesterday, so I'll just skip right on. My Portia Cheryl Winkelmann, that again was repotted. I believe it might be this one. No. Okay. Cheryl Winkelmann is over here. This is Cheryl Winkelmann right here. I will put a picture of the flowers, and you remember me going into the cattleya room at Hausermann, and it had many inflorescence that were in spike and in sheath, which they all bloomed, staggered, and it was a beautiful display for a long time. Yeah, Cheryl Winkelmann, Chris Patanara. Since the repot, you can see it's been repotted in a holy pot with just lava rock, and I'm seeing it push up. There's a new growth here, and there was another one over here. So I'd say that it has acclimated. This growth does look like it is pushing well to possibly being as strong and big as the prior growth. Again, a pretty flower. It was a lavender flower. I've probably already posted a picture, but still alive, doing well. The next one on the list is my Fuller's Black Leopard, which is a Phalaenopsis, and that plant is in the greenhouse, newly repotted. This is my Fuller's right here, Black Leopard. It hasn't been repotted. In fact, the bloom did not just fall off not long ago, is what I'm trying to say. Has put up a new leaf. It's fairly healthy. This is where it has sat. It was on the table for a while, but more or less in this area, south facing. It's got shade cloth overhead. Still healthy, still alive. Next one on the list that I got is my Dendrobium Stardustbird, which is out here. And I can tell you before I get to it that I just recently remounted it. It was on a mount and started putting up new growths. Wow. And so that was when I took it off of that mount and put it on the same mount, and I could have sworn it was over here. Maybe it's over here. Here we go. Dendrobium Stardustbird. And so yeah, this is the exact same mount that it was on, and I took all the moss off of it, and it's on here bare root. Literally, I just did this a week or two ago, so you can see the kikis that are coming on the plant. So that is in progress. We will see how it does here shortly, if it will attach to the mount. Then we've got Phalaenopsis Chatelot, which I am so happy to say, because this was kind of an impulse buy, and my Java Mini is right here. You've heard this story if you watch my videos. This was mounted, and it was declining on the mount. So I took it off the mount, put it up in here, potted it up in here, pretty much wrapped the roots that were remaining in the sphagnum, and then set it in the middle, and then surrounded that in the bark. And the crown ended up dying off. You can see there's the crown, but it put off two new plants, two new kikis. This is a miniature plant, and it is a cross. And for the longest time, I have almost thought that there was an inflorescence somewhere in there, but I'm not going to. I think that is doing well, very swell. As almost safely I could say it has recovered, because really this is a mature leaf. It only gets that big, and it is a cross, if I haven't said it, is Javanica crossed with Minus. Next on the list, I don't know why I keep putting it in my pocket, is Trichocentrum Stacyi, and I got two Stacyis. One of them died. The other one is here. Pull it out here, open the door so I can give you some light. This is the Stacyi that was on sphagnum mounted. I unmounted it, took the sphagnum off, and it is giving me a new growth that I think you caught the glimpse of it. It's tucked away behind there. That's the new growth where my finger is. And the roots don't look so swell yet, but there was a new root. I'm not sure if it is still attached. The next one is Dendrobium, and I know I've shown this recently or have talked about it in a video, but again, I took it off the mount, took the sphagnum off, put fresh sphagnum on, and then this has only been on here less than a month, I am sure, and look at all the new growths. I think I counted them and there was 11, and you can see the roots. So I'd say that's a good thing. And so far only one casualty. Next on the list is my Area spicata, and I know that you remember that. I show that all the time. It is over here, and since I got it, 6 months, in the 6 months time, it bloomed just in the last month. That's the spent spike, and it has put up these 4 new growths that are maturing around the edge. So that's doing pretty good. I still will have to repot that, as that is out of the pot. Although I'm not too concerned about the roots being out of the media, it obviously is getting the humidity because those roots have stayed green. Regardless, I will post a picture of the blooms, really nice, almost lily of the valley kind of looking. Then there's my catfowl corner cervi, Chatelot, which is right here. Now, just recently, this pattern on the leaves has developed, although at the same time, it is still doing well, if you ask me. Nice roots coming out all over. It does need to be repotted out of that media. It has not been repotted, so this would probably be a good time to do it. But I'll just keep looking at these leaves. You know, I don't care about the foliage so much, but that is concerning. to a degree because I want all of these Phalaenopsis to be healthy so that I don't have to buy them again. Okay, so here we go. Then there's the B.E. Waipuna, and actually the next two are right here. This is Waipuna back here, which is a Brassavola nodosa cross, and that is crossed with Sophronitis. It's the nodosa Minnie Mouse, or Minnie Mouse, and it has put up this new growth right here. And the next one on the list is this one, which is Alex Hawk, Brassoepidendrum. That's Encyclia Marii that you can see crossed with nodosa as well. And this is the newest growth. It's doing okay. Both of those were repotted. Looks like it. Then I have my Bulbophyllum longiflorum, which is outside. So I'll just go there and then I'll take care of the last couple that are outside. I'll stop here at Bobette's, which is one that needs a repot. But since I got it, it's put up. There's a new growth. This is a new growth. There was another new growth that looks like it rotted. You can see it right in front of the camera, right there. This is a blind sheath. This plant is notorious for putting up blind sheaths. The growth pattern of it is it puts up its new growths after it blooms in the winter, puts them up in the spring. Those growths mature, put on the sheath, and then they bloom after a couple of months rest right at the end of winter. So previous year's sheaths will not bloom. Hopefully these new growths will have blooms, beautiful white flowers, long-lasting frilly lip. It's Bobette's, and I was on my way out here to show you the Bulbophyllum longifolium, and I mounted it on this piece of Osmunda, the tree fern, and it already had put out a growth that I accidentally didn't know that it was a growth, but I knocked it off with my finger as I was watering it because of the color of it, and it blended into the moss. I didn't see it, but that is the color of the new growth. But I am really hoping that the roots are the main thing. These get watered every day. Well, I haven't watered out here today, any of these plants today. And this is the red. It's dark leaf. I can't remember what the clone is. I guess I could look. The dark spot, and that is because of the spots on the foliage. That is the way that it's supposed to be. I don't think that has anything to do with the flower. But that Bulbophyllum is doing okay. Hoping to see some roots, and I probably should give it a little bit more water, but I'm being cautious. I don't want to overwater my plants. I tend to do that, especially when it's causing, that is, I think, due to the start of some rot. And you've seen me talk about some of my cattleyas that have had the growths rot off. But I digress. The last one out here is over this way, and that would be this plant that is sitting in water. But that is okay, because these are bog orchids. And this is my Collagenea Yusutana, and you can see there is a new growth right there. This came with a spike on it, but the spike never developed, and it has not been repotted. I need to do that at some point, but I'm not too worried about it. There still is room in the pot. But yeah, that is the latest growth over there. Still doing okay. Leaves still look fairly nice and green color. So that's my Yusutana. That is a sequential blooming Collagenea. White with, I believe it's green and white, and different color lip. It's a dark lip, probably brown. I had one, but most Collageneas fit that profile as far as the flowers. And the last two on the list are these bulbos right here that are also in need of a repot. And this is my bulbo. This is the Cheryl Winkelmann, and this bloomed really nicely for me. Had a double flush of blooms, in fact, and you can see those new growths, and it has already put up this new growth, and there's this new growth that's over on this side right here that's kind of floppy, but you can see it's starting to put up more growths as well. These plants are, the growth pattern is on a long rhizome, so you know, either I could have it circling around a pot like this one is, or I could mount it. You know, we'll see. And then the one next to it is Kalimpong, which is another cross, a primary cross, Butylatum crossed with Ornithissimum. And same thing with this, it's given me already these growths that are maturing, but then at the base it's still giving more new growths. I guess some of them could be flower spikes, who knows. I'm just going to call them growths for now, but there again you can still see this is, I'm just showing you the progress. These sit here all year, right in this spot. Actually they were sitting a little bit higher in the wintertime, probably hanging from a plant that was hanging here from here and getting a little bit more shade, but also the shade cloth is off in the wintertime, I should say, so it gets a tad bit more sun because there is shade cloth on right now. Watered, I try to water these at least 2 or 3 times a week because they dry out pretty quickly and they are heavy water drinkers when they are in active growth. A little bit less in the wintertime, but like I said, they are still blooming in the wintertime, and so they still need water. And folks, that is my update. Thanks for watching. If you haven't ordered from Hausermann, you should give them a try. They do mail order, and sure, they're hurting like most nurseries. But anywho, be safe out there, wear your mask. Thanks for watching and enjoy your orchids. Bye.